We're talking to Apollo 66 on StageCraft. My name is Alex, and I'm joined with...
Don. I'm Don, and I'm in StageCraft too. We're all here on the porch with Apollo 66.
And I wanted to give a special shout-out to MJ, the Dragonfly. Thank you for the birthday messages this week. Meant a lot. I appreciate that so much.
We're with you all the way.
Can you introduce yourselves, please?
Yeah, hey, Travis.
What do you do in the band, Travis?
Oh, God, I fake playing guitar, and I fake sing, and, you know, make everybody pretend I'm really good at it, but not really.
You do a good job.
Do people really acknowledge that?
Well, they are my friends.
Okay, good.
So you can't trust anything we say?
No.
Yes.
I'm Alex, and I play bass and sing, and I'm a Scorpio.
And he's the joke teller when I have
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color? Oh, man, I'll get back to you on that one.
I'm going to guess Robin.
I didn't know this was going to be so hard-hitting.
Yeah, it's, I'm sorry. We're digging deep.
Oh, exactly. Hot take.
Yeah.
I don't see color.
What's your favorite color? Red. No, blue, sorry.
What about you, friend?
I'm Jeremy. I've been transitioning past 3 years from guitar to drums, so these guys needed a drummer. I stepped in, and that's what I'm doing with Apollo.
That pregnant pause. Like,
So I've known Jeremy for like probably 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And when we lost our original drummer, it's been like a year and a half or 2 years.
No, like
Something like that.
Two full years or more than 2
Really?
years.
Did you try phoning him?
No, we lost him to bigger.
We're still looking.
things.
He's the fucking king, isn't he?
But, so it's like, I know this guy. He can do everything. Let's call him.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow, but did you play guitar in the band beforehand?
Yeah, but these guys play so many shows. I probably played more drums on stage at this point than guitar.
The drummer is highly underrated, I think.
Well, they're in demand, so
They are in demand,
that's
yes.
why I'm
Is that why you switched?
Yeah, because no one wants to carry around all that hardware, right?
right.
No.
Jeremy's highly underrated because if there's a real musician in the band, it is him, and he's a great guitarist, and as we're finding out today and last weekend, really good in the studio recording as well, which is why we have our guitars with us. So.
That's great. That's great. Maybe at some point we could have them play a song. Would that work?
Please no. Please no. I can't monitor the volume from...
The Shenandoah.
I love you all. I love you all, but
I mean right here.
But I have
One
to
more
monitor
beer,
the level.
we'll do it.
What?
I can't monitor the level
think
from
two
up
more.
here.
Oh.
I mean, I can hear the level, but all I could tell you is it's blown out. It's definitely blown out.
No. I mean, just I mean,
Some three-port.
Please don't complicate
We'll
this.
acapella.
Okay.
We'll acapella.
That would be great. I can handle that. Yeah, I could handle that. So, in terms of, do you know what StageCraft is about?
Yeah, we've been catching up on the episodes.
What?
Yeah.
You actually listen to episodes?
I've been doing my homework, and it's really cool to hear other bands that we've met. And I just listened to the Nice Breeze episode, which was really cool because they talked about playing with us by chance. And this is from 2019, and I like them a lot.
Yeah.
I really enjoy them. So I listened to that today, actually. So.
We didn't say anything about you, did we?
Oh, other than that, we suck. Worst thing you've ever heard. No.
They brought us up, right?
Yeah, they brought us up. and
Okay,
they
good.
talked about the Legion. It's the American Legion, not the VFW. Everybody makes that mistake. Oh, no. It was actually someone else. Yeah.
Right.
But
We have a once-a-month gig there, the first Saturday of every month.
ooh, the house band.
Yeah, right. And so so we meet just tons of people, tons of bands coming through. We have like 2 or 3 other bands, that reach out or that we invite each month. So we're getting to know a ton of people, and it's been how many years now? Like
it started in the fall of 2018. Sorry, we just sidetracked you on what the StageCraft is.
Honestly, I don't even remember the question that I asked. So, whatever you want to talk about is
Yeah.
fine with me. Who are you guys again?
Apollo
I don't even know what
66.
house I sent you to, for fuck's
Apollo.
sake.
Gemini too.
We played Fort Reno for our 3rd show ever. Super excited. And then, the truck's up against the stage, right? And, I guess it's one of the kids that writes all the names on the front. And when the truck pulls away right before about to start, it's spelled Apollo 66. And it was just it was awesome. We're like, okay, that's who we are now. That's it. Forever.
Apollonia? Is that what
Yeah, it was
something
it was
like
2
that.
P's. And we're like, that's cool.
That's
How'd you
pretty
pick that
impressive.
Oh, and if we could do it again, maybe we'd change it.
We got. I don't know if you guys know the Ubangies, Brian Horowitz and Randy Manos, and those guys in the Ubangies invited us to play a show because we were just friends with them, and they knew we had been,
just kind of jamming
around in our friend's basement, right?
And so they invited us to play, and we were like, hell yeah, we'll totally do this. And then had to write songs because we didn't have any songs, which is partly what shaped our songs in the beginning because we were playing with them at kind of a rockabilly kind of.
And now we need a
thing.
name too. Shoot.
Yeah, and so we needed a name, and Sean, our former drummer, is an awesome illustrator, and he came up with this logo, and we pretty much just it was kind of a marriage of Route 66 meets the the space race
program.
Just kind of just had a lot of cool visuals.
Well, a lot of good records came out in '66.
Yeah,
too.
And we've kind of moved away from that sound too.
Yeah,
but our skills are still at that level.
Right.
Well, didn't you play any covers the first time yet?
No.
We never really did. We're not good enough to play covers.
We're really not. Yeah.
Except for Jeremy. No, we never did. I mean, it was just fun jamming. I mean, I don't know, 2 or 3 years.
We did play one. We played a Misfits cover, and then there was what's
yeah.
the other? Not Elvis. Who I forget who read it originally.
Who's the guy who did that? Pardon me if I'm sentimental. It was just featured in that new Elvis movie. They show the guy that Elvis was touring with doing that song, and then Elvis covered it later.
Huey Lewis.
I think so. No, just the news at that point.
Roy Orbison?
No. Oh man,
It's earlier than that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that one, and then we did a Smiths cover once.
Oh, that was
And of course, we made it our own, and
Girlfriend in a
never
Coma?
did it again.
Nice.
I can't even remember now.
no. It was a super mellow one that we tried to kind of make
There was a video we
kind of
destroyed.
punk rock, and it didn't really work.
And you insert the Beatles into that.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
We do a little bit of help in the middle of one of our songs.
That's neat.
Oh, that's
neat.
cool.
Yeah, and that usually gets people's attention if they're zoning out.
Yeah. we wrote a song in 2018 called Tiny Hands about you-know-who, and just thought, it fit in there really well because, we all need a little help.
Great.
We were just talking about that, this last week when we're recording. We don't do many covers, or if any, but inserting them in the middle of our songs might be kind of a strategy to keep doing it. Kind of people are kind of zoning out, and then they, wake up when they hear a tune they recognize.
That is very important. That's very important. I mean,
they're
you grab
plugged in
their-
after that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Ask a question. When you got to do Fort Reno, did you submit just one song? Because we've talked to Amanda Mackay, and it's really, to be selected for Fort Reno is pretty impressive.
Yeah. And I'm just going to say I played it twice.
Shut up.
But which I'm really proud of. We submitted 4 songs, I think. 4 songs that we wrote that I don't think we play any of them anymore.
Really?
But yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second band I played in was a side project 2 years later, and I submitted 4 songs for that one as well. And got to play, and it was awesome.
Damn, that's impressive.
Jeremy, were you the guitarist for the band before you became the drummer?
Nope. I was just knew Alex and
Just
their
a
drummer.
friend?
Sorry.
Just a friend?
Yeah, just friend. We went
And part-time lover.
went to the same college and English program, and just knew a lot of the same people and kept in touch more or less over the years. And I've always been making music, and I play drums off and on. I just jump on the drum kit when I'm in a rehearsal space, and I was like, I can probably figure that out.
He was a Richmond guy for a long time, and so I kind of mostly grew up here. I went to high school up here in Northern Virginia, and then a lot of people from here split off and went down to Richmond. You were one of them. So
Right, Richmond was where the music was that I wanted to play at that time. I was a big.
What year
fan.
was this?
I was a big fan of Breadwinner, Slang Louse.
is that early '90s, late '80s?
Yeah, right after college, so that was 92 or something. So I ended up meeting all those guys, had a blast, had my own band for a couple years, and it's a really fun town to make music in.
Nice. And the personality is obviously mesh together pretty well.
Yeah. The funny story of us getting together is we both would hang around in playgrounds.
Yeah, nothing creepy.
I like how this is going already. Yeah.
Just,
We both had little kids who were.
You know we're streaming right now, right?
Right, exactly.
yeah, we're going
And,
somewhere with this.
Long story short, we now hang out
be the
50 to 100 yards away from the playground.
You didn't drive a white van. did
Schools
you?
are a problem too. So many schools we can't get close to. I kept seeing it. So my little kid was playing at this playground, and I kept seeing him there. And
because my little kid was mine, not because.
Exactly. Hey, buddy.
one of those things where I don't know. You were wearing. I think you were wearing a Jonestown shirt or something.
Which
It's like,
I almost wore tonight.
Yeah.
It's
It's
got
like,
too
you
many
like
holes in
that?
it.
Started up a conversation based on T-shirts we were wearing. I think.
Yeah, and, so purely a dad band, jamming like one night a week, and then again, thanks to Brian and the Ubangis, it became a band.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome for we were talking about this earlier, being a little bit older and having kind of this second life in a sense of that's been pretty awesome. Like I was in a band when I was younger, and this is so much more fun now. Maybe because I'm more me now than I was then, more developed.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that. Can you, to use a parlance of our times, can we double click into that for a minute?
No, I'm thinking about work tomorrow.
I mean, come on, double clicking. That could be anything. Jeez Louise, man.
Could be what you're
not
doing.
gonna talk about
Turn a TV on. I could, so what? What about, because Amanda McKay talked about this. She was talking about how she had friends who had never been in bands and they were like starting it up in their 40s, and how rewarding they found the experience to be, and how good for their mental health they found the experience to be, which used to be different. Like when you were young and doing it was like to avoid the issues with your mental health rather than to deal with them. Right?
Yeah.
And so
Or to alter.
or to alter. Yeah, exactly. So talk a little bit about like what else have you found to be better doing it now?
So I have to say, for me, making music, writing music it's therapy. It is complete therapy. It's that flow state where you're writing something, you can forget about everything else. I'm very much like an emotional person, so when I write things, it comes from an emotional place, and for me, it's therapy, and it makes me a much better person to be around.
We used to describe, was it like 2 or 3 years or more that we were just jamming every Thursday night before we ever had a show? But it totally felt like that's therapy night, right? That was just make a bunch of noise in the basement, and
then when we miss a practice, it's like, I'm off this week. I don't know what
exactly,
it is. Like,
exactly,
I'm just not doing well.
That's a good way of putting it. Really, that's a really good way.
Totally, yeah. When I stopped kind of playing with people, like kind of through my 30s and stuff, and I was like, well, I'll be content just like with a little 4-track recorder and playing things for myself, and it wasn't really satisfying like I hoped it would be. I mean, it wasn't until I got back playing with people that it felt like something
at playgrounds.
Yeah, that felt fulfilling or something. Yeah, it's there's definitely something to interacting with other people.
So when you first hit the stage?
It was July 30th, 2016 at Hank Deedles in Rockville.
Oh, shout out to Hank Deedles.
Yeah.
We just played there last month.
Yeah.
This month.
Our first time back.
Yeah, first time back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hope that insurance check cleared, guys.
Yeah.
And the place is beautiful now. There's that big hole in the ceiling is patched up and everything.
What was going to be great and sad at the same time is that we were playing with the Ubangis, who we played with the very first show, and so it was really awesome, the idea of just being back there for the first time with them. But Randy got sick with COVID and couldn't make it. But we got to play with Marshall Keith, and that was awesome. He's an amazing musician.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing about this whole Legion show. I mean, I hope everybody can make it out it's the first Saturday of every month at the Silver Spring American Legion.
Always free,
cheap beer,
all ages,
cheap beer. And
cool vibe.
So we'll get young bands. I mean, we'll get teenagers. We had those kids from was it the month before last
like 17,
like high school kids.
Yeah,
and
like
we'll get
one of their first shows ever. And that's the awesome thing about it, is that money's not really an issue there. The places they let us take over for the night, and it's always free. Part of that is because we can't police the door with veterans coming in. That's their club, right? So and it's nice to just not worry about it. Like, we bring in all the gear. There's nothing there. and it's a thing of love. And then, to be able to like have a place where like new bands that don't have a following can play, it's great. Like it's like we get to curate a night, and that's
But we also
awesome.
get some old timers too, which is really cool too.
Yeah, a lot.
So
yeah.
True Facts and the Insaniacs played one of the earlier shows. The Yachtsmen guys from the Slicky Boys have played.
Dot Dash played a lot.
Dot Dash, right? Those guys. Sister X, and Tony from You Behave.
How does a band get on the bill there?
So the way it started is I just kind of started going through Bandcamp and listening to bands and just reaching out and just being like, this is great. I love this. We have this new thing going. Would you want to play? And then it's just kind of word of mouth over time. And then people will reach out. And I've stopped reaching out to bands at this point.
So they call you, email you?
Email, Instagram message, Facebook message.
What do they go to
from my
email?
site.
What email? Just so they know if there's any bands
thank you.
listening.
Apollo66rock@gmail.com.
Okay. To get on the bill at the American Legion.
Exactly.
in Silver Spring.
And the Facebook page is Garage Night or Garage Punk Rock Night?
So there's not a Facebook page. There's an Instagram handle, Garage Punk Rock and Roll. And then the website is apollo66rock.com. Yeah.
Great.
And it's pretty much, you brought up covers. I mean, it's not a
covers.
hard and fast rule
Yeah.
that we really impose on people, but it's basically no covers. It's originals generally, and
It's kind of a hard and fast rule.
yeah, it's
a rule.
Yeah, it is kind of a rule. I mean, we wouldn't be jerks about it if someone played too many, but
No.
Well,
we
plus
haven't
you don't want
invited them back if they played too many covers.
You don't want what is it, ASCAP? You don't want ASCAP coming out. Yeah,
right.
Which is legit. That shit happens.
Really?
Yeah.
They send people to go check out the stuff like that to see if people are supposed to be
They're
paying
doing it
dues
too
and
much.
stuff.
Yeah, actually, the Galaxy Hut is going to bring music back.
I did see that.
Wow.
They're going to start with experimental, and
that's
then they're
great.
going to maybe bring in some other stuff as they.
Experimental music, they're defining it that way, or
Yeah, I think that was what it was. It's Larry. He was
Like Thomas Dolby? What are you talking
Well, I mean, when I looked at the bill, there was like one band that I was like, okay, that's kind of experimental. But then there was another. I was like, no, that's just a rock band.
Right.
But I think that they're just trying because they got burned. I think that was they didn't get busted, but they got warned or something like that for.
I think so.
Yeah, for people playing covers there, but then not paying the dues.
Right.
And I mean, no one gives a shit. There's no one there ever, right?
Yeah.
But it's just how that's.
But it's a blurred line, though. If you play a cover with originality, it's not a cover.
Right. My favorite cover of all time is Devo doing Satisfaction, which is like
Yeah,
the perfect
that's great.
readaptation,
There's the whole story behind that Mick Jagger heard it and was like, "Oh my God, like that's like the perfect version of that song."
Oh, he liked it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd never
Yeah.
heard that.
If you just use your web crawler of choice, there's a whole article about his
Right.
opinion of that song. Which with Devo, you never even know if that shit is true.
Right. Well, they also have a story about John Lennon seeing them at like CBGB's or something and like freaking out. And I think a lot of people say like the B-52s got John Lennon kind of re-energized, but apparently he saw Devo too and got really turned on to make music again or something.
Oh, right on.
Devo's great.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know at the Minor Threat, when they did Stepping Stone,
Oh yeah.
they immediately paid royalties to it. It's amazing. I mean, there's the bands that you would think would be very conservative are not.
Yeah.
And the bands that were way out there, they are very conservative, straight arrow, as you can get.
That was the first version I heard of Stepping Stone.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't hear
Yeah,
the
same.
Monkees?
Same.
Oh my God, let me introduce you to these guys. Mickey Dolan, where are you? Come down from the clouds.
StageCraft is about the presentation of your art. It's about art, the presentation of your art. It's about presentation and art, all those things. The StageCraft account recently posted 2 performance videos that I was like, this is StageCraft. This is like a great example of StageCraft. And one of them was Cheech and Chong doing Earache My Eye.
Oh God.
Which, in full tutu and, the mask and, and there's just something so magical. And I know it's a goddamn movie. But that is like such a cool thing. And then another one was Prince. And for a moment when he's playing with his back and he's like, wiggling his butt in that way that he does, you're like, who's this hot chick that's playing this guitar? And then he spins around and you're like, holy shit, that's Prince.
Reconsidering things.
I'm having confusing feelings now, But so for yourselves, like, do you ever do you ever think or give a shit about anything beyond like what you're playing on the instrument itself?
We have a couple of rules.
Ooh, rules.
And they might be rules unto ourselves.
Yeah.
That we don't know about.
I mean, they're silly. No glasses, no shorts on stage.
No offense, Don.
And what?
On stage, it's okay. Anywhere else.
Right.
Particularly in like 90.
I mean, that's kind of a joke, but and you're allowed to wear shorts since drumming is.
You can do whatever you want because you're the most talented one
I
in the
stick
band.
to the rules.
You stick to the rules, right?
I mean, if you're a
take off our
drummer,
glasses
the
and
nice
we'll
thing
wear
is you can
shorts.
go like almost like bikini, and you're still in uniform,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, I'm at the age you don't want that.
So we might
Those
get
days
more,
have passed by.
views of,
Dad bods are in, as far as I've been telling people.
Myself, dad bods are in.
Dad bods are in, yeah. If Elon Musk can walk around without a shirt on, I'm certainly someone without the millions of dollars can also do it, right?
And,
Exactly. It's not
he's
the
the drummer. He can do anything.
You
Really?
can do anything you want. Yeah,
Just keep time.
exactly.
Yeah. So I think for me, for this band in particular, if I have an idea for like another project, and it might be like around a theme or something. But for this band, I think, for me at least, it's primarily about us having fun and friendship first, and playing for our friends or people that are soon to be hopefully our friends, and creating community. So I would say it's more about being authentic, and not so much the stagecraft of like we just put on our outfits and now we're getting on stage. It's more that like we're here together in this living room, hanging out, playing together, and then we're gonna play, and then we're gonna sit down. We're all gonna watch this other awesome band coming up.
It's very the American Legion feels very much like a clubhouse. I mean, we play at least. I mean, typically we play one other show somewhere else each month, but the monthly show at the Legion it feels like somebody's basement. I mean, it's even got the paneling on the walls like somebody's basement.
Like wood paneling, right?
Yeah, totally. It's super cozy. Actually, the sound is pretty good.
I've actually been down there
Thank you.
several times at lunchtime. And it's super cozy. It does feel like your dad's basement.
Exactly
with the
right.
Wood paneling.
Exactly right. No, and it's cozy, friendly, welcoming. A lot of the regulars come, and it's really turned into like a community for sure.
Yeah.
It's so funny how different experiences are, though, because like everyone, when you were saying like wood panel, like my alarm meter immediately went up, and then when you said it's like going down to someone's dad's basement, I was like, fuck no, I'm not going down into that guy's basement if he's got wood panel.
You don't want to tour the freezer?
Hard pass.
To be honest,
Fool
that's
me
what,
once, shame
that's what
on me.
inner ear feels like. What? What? There's wood paneling down there. It's very cozy.
But there's all the memorabilia around.
I know, but he's like punk rock's dad.
But it's painted over.
best.
Yeah.
I liked it when it was natural wood.
Right.
Yeah. Frankly,
Okay.
I find the dolls to be a little bit more upsetting than the paneling.
Yeah, they come to life at night.
Ooh, I want to check it out.
I have to
Around
admit,
midnight.
it was a little off-putting when I first played the Legion, because to me it seemed like I was playing like where a Boy Scout troop would meet or
Right.
something like that. But after you get through a night and you just like see the kind of community vibe and like how everybody's just like basically having fun, it's
Yeah.
like
And it's just
Yeah,
a
that's where
space
it's
like any
at.
other space. It's what you make of it.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, you played the song well, and you get a merit badge.
Right.
exactly.
Ooh, I like this. I could go with that. I can go with that stagecraft.
You know, Boy Scout uniforms would be pretty hilarious.
Right, totally. And they could sponsor our softball team, probably.
They're called something else now, though. They're not called Boy Scouts anymore.
No, they are.
Scouts.
Scouting.
Yeah.
Because they let any now it doesn't matter what your gender is, you can go in. But so yeah, I'm glad you said the thing about authentic, right? Because sometimes when we push people about like, hey, have you done this or have you done that? At the end of the day, if you're not going to feel comfortable in the costume, not everyone's going to feel good in the leopard print bikini shorts that I saw.
That's
Prince
our
in.
friend Brian from the Bangies.
Yeah, that's the Ubangies look. We can't rip them off. So.
Travis does dress up though occasionally.
You do?
Just
You have,
for
you have
us.
the David Bowie.
Oh, if we're doing like a Bowie
Alter
show or
ego.
something. Speaking of covers.
Okay, yeah, right. Once
all
a
right.
year we do
So
covers.
I've kind of pushed these guys to do the Bowie show in the past few years.
It's at the pie shop
it's,
each year.
it's pretty cool that we get an invite and we're able to fake it that we can play some covers, for a night, and it's a lot of fun. Get to play a lot of bands.
Like the David Bowie Valentine each February.
yeah.
He's got a lot of good songs.
Oh, God.
Yeah. we choose the simplest ones. I mean, we are a 3-piece, so there's only so
I
much.
think we ended up choosing a lot of songs that David Bowie covered. So
That's right. We did a bunch
Couple.
of David Bowie covers. That's right.
Yeah.
So he
We did
covered
the,
like Velvet Underground and
Sorrow. Yeah, we did. Yeah. We're like, can we make this a Velvet Underground?
You're right. And we worked in that Stooges song too.
For a
It
moment.
was kind of cheating a little bit.
Don's done Dark Side of the Moon. Remember? You did the Turnips of Doom.
The what?
You guys did Dark Side of the
You guys
Moon?
did a cover of Dark Side of the Moon.
Really?
Trust me, I did the flyer. Yeah.
That's a good album.
Oh, I must have been
Promise
sleeping through that.
That must have been when Don was.
muscle memory?
Don went the full Pink Floyd route and dropped a couple tabs.
Right.
No memory whatsoever.
No, that's it.
That was
Must have been playing.
But I was flying.
Oh, I can hear it.
very authentic if you can't remember.
Right, exactly. Oh, it was authentic. I don't care what it just felt great. It was authentic.
Anything?
Yeah. But what is authentic to Apollo 66?
Yeah. Tell us about you.
Yeah, good question.
What is? I mean, if you had to have your list, in other words, look for these things if you want to see the authenticity of Apollo 66.
Playing from the heart.
Aw.
Playing something that we want to hear. I know that's typical, but for me, it's always if we're trying to come up with ideas, it's what would I want to turn on and listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for me, when we perform live, I don't know, I probably look very silly, but I kind of dance around a lot, playing my guitar, and I just feel it. It's like I said, it's therapy. It's a release, and if I'm not feeling it,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm feeling it, you see that, and that's just who I am. That's me working out these emotions, and I tend to be kind of a quiet guy. But when we're playing, it's a different thing, but I'm still myself at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're wearing our street clothes, probably what we would wear to a show at the same time. And particularly if it's the Legion, because, we're working up to the last minute to set it all up. So we don't really have time to do anything. But yeah, I don't know.
Do you figure out the bill a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance, day before?
So the past year, it's been booking it at like the beginning of the year, pretty much till the end of the year.
Wow.
Right
so
away.
It's all scheduled out, right?
Yeah, because we've been doing this fall of 2018, and just people are coming back. Silver Spring seems to have a lot of musicians in the area, like a lot of people that grew up in this, in the DC scene, that have moved to the suburbs. So it's just it's like a nice, easy place for people to count on there being like a good show of some older local bands, some new local bands, and fortunately or unfortunately, always us,
Yeah.
because we are the house band.
They sit through us each month, but then
Yeah, and they're very, very kind about it, and on occasion we throw out a new song, so
So you play at the beginning of every show.
it varies.
we'll give the other bands kind of their choice. Do you want to go first? Do you want to go last?
And if it's like a new band, I try to put them in the middle because I want to make
Yeah.
sure they're seen, or if they're from out of town, put them in the middle because that's always the best slot.
So there's what, about 5 bands a night?
No, well, we've done 5 like once or twice, and that was
lately it's been 3.
Yeah, we've tried to like
4.
bring it down to 3. Just it seems to get kind of overkill for people, and then I feel like the last band just isn't seen, or the first band isn't seen, and I don't want to do that to anybody else.
Yeah, it's hard.
So
It's hard to figure it, though, because, if you have too many, they don't get a chance really to get up to their steam.
right,
And if you have too few,
people won't show up. They're like,
or if it goes bad, people just start walking away.
I have some shout outs from the internet for you. Would you like to hear them?
To my mom.
All right. So from
Ronald
Orange Man Little Hands, woo Apollo 66. So apparently he's a fan.
Woo!
All right.
I'm sure he
I hope that's a
appreciates
good
it.
woo.
Or is that Wu-Tang?
Is it? Wu Tang is forever. Kim Salah, love you guys. Tommy B304. When is the American Legion tour coming?
Tour.
Oh, that's
Take the show on the road.
interesting.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
I wonder if anybody's ever thought of
I
that.
hadn't
Or
even thought about that.
festival. Have a
Yeah.
like a weekend festival there.
Yeah, take over the whole day.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
a good idea. Yeah, it kind of feels like that a little bit, at least on a smaller scale each month. But I wonder if they'd give us a whole day.
On that note, can I just say I would really like to give props to the people that set up so the Woodmore neighborhood in Silver Spring, it's like the opposite neighborhood of where Alex and I live in South Four Corners. It's the third year they've done it, and they put on in this neighborhood 50 bands on 10 stages, and I just can't imagine organizing that in one day and getting the whole neighborhood to be down with it.
Is that the Woodmore Fest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woodmore Stock.
Yeah, Woodmore Stock.
Woodmore Stock.
Right.
And so we played the first year and this year, and and it may not. Well, anyway, it's amazing. I'm just like it's amazing that they have that kind of stamina to make that happen. That's a lot of work.
It is.
And we do
There's a
one
ton of
night a
people.
month, and that's plenty for me. It's
Yeah. And they have beer trucks.
yeah, food trucks.
And these stages, they're on
It's people's
lawns?
homes. It's people's homes. Some are just like their lawns. Some are their porches. Some they might have something constructed, but it's very minimal.
Wow.
For sure.
What a cool neighborhood.
It does sound.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And the bands are all over the place. There's like thrash metal band, bluegrass bands, and then like us, and all different kinds of things. So there's something for everybody there.
all day long.
Yeah,
1 to 5 or something like that?
Yeah,
or
1 to 5.
Noon to 5 or
Something
something
like
Wait, 1 to 5 and there's 50 bands?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you
it's
have
like
to
Q's
choose.
Dominion.
You have to
You can like
choose.
walk around and
Yeah.
just
Yeah, it's
find
10
something else
stages
to
all
find.
at the same
stages?
time.
Is there? Wow.
Yeah, about
I could just see him on the stage. Let's play louder than those guys right down the street.
Well, at even at is it Petworth Porch Fest? Even at Petworth Porch
Yeah.
Fest, sometimes they are literally around the block from each other,
You can
and
hear
the
'em.
bleed is insane.
Yeah,
But it does become like I'm going to go see the thrash band because that shit's louder.
loudest.
Right.
It's calling me.
Well, we felt bad too because we had friends playing all over the neighborhood, and we're trying to like make an appearance at each friend's band, and can catch a couple of songs before we have to move on and make an appearance at the next band.
And then, of course, we want to watch the bands at the place we're
Right,
playing.
right.
So it's hard
Yeah,
to do all that.
It was a lot of walking. We got our steps in.
Yeah, we got our steps in.
But that brings up another point. How, I don't know how to put this. How do you navigate the loudness of the band?
Interesting.
Trial
Like
and
in a-
error.
Do you mean like at a show? I mean,
Yeah, at a show. Practice could be different, but in other words, it's a lot of bands, simply the drums are one level, of course, and everybody fits in around the drums.
So the Legion, I've had the most experience because I run sound there, and I would say, no surprise here, the thing you have to remind people of are the guitarists to turn down, right? Because that's usually, it's always too loud.
People have been playing for a while. They have like all their 100-watt amps.
It's like I
and
love
they're
you,
rolling them.
but it doesn't sound good out here if your guitar's too loud.
yeah.
Because the venue's such that you don't need to mic much of anything aside from vocals, kick drum, anything that might need. If you have a small amp, we'll mic that. It might run it through the mains because it'll sound a little bit better. But, other than that, it'll be ear piercing.
Yeah, that's no fun.
So the biggest thing is just like trying to convince people that you sound great. It'll sound really good if you turn down just a little
Yeah.
bit. The mix will be wonderful. And that's just come from trial and error. And the hardest thing is like, particularly when we play first, if you go, you'll often see me like running over to the board while I'm playing, because we're running sound at the same time.
Yeah.
But
Do you find that there are bands that just don't, I guess, self-monitor? In other words, they say the guitarist, for instance, turns up to a certain. This is the way I always turn my amp.
anyone
up.
with a Marshall half stack.
When they roll in a Marshall into the
Like, you
Legion,
can
you're
see
like,
it.
"Yeah, really?
Yeah.
It's
But
they sound great, though.
unless
They sound
they know how to control it. But
Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes they just don't listen to everyone else in the band. They are what they want to sound like.
right.
Yeah.
Which
Absolutely,
does, yeah.
It's
It's
like I can't get my sound unless it's like this volume and stuff like that.
right, right. Which is
Definitely. I think there's not many cases of that really, but occasionally there are people who are like adamant about that. But
We seem
I
to
think
run
we've
into
had
it a
good
lot.
luck.
we've run into it. We've run into it when it's a restricted volume, but we ask everyone to sort of listen around to what everyone else is playing and fit in so that you are
Yeah.
part of a good mix.
Right,
right.
To everything.
Because it won't sound good if it's.
It won't
if it's
sound
too
good.
loud.
Well, there's the idea, and we talk. So obviously, the musicians and the art is the most important part of the evening. But everyone's working in sort of like a symbiosis in order to make that an evening that we hopefully don't forget in a good way, right? And the musicians have to be somewhat cognizant of what other people are playing and at what volume, because we're trying to do something here, right? And it's not just come. Whip out your stuff, do your thing, and just leave scorched earth. You know, that's
That
not,
wasn't an invitation, Alex.
you got to put your pants back on. But do you know what I mean? Like, we're trying to do something here. It's not just about you. And like to Don's point, it's not just about you, the guitarist, right? You have another band, and then there's other bands that are coming on. Don't fuck it up for the rest of us, you know?
Yeah. I think some people too, they've blown out their ears so far that they don't even know they're
that's
playing
me.
too loud.
I mean, I'm a novice drummer, and I play way too loud.
No,
like
that's
I know
great.
that, but drummer. It's just like, some people just need to think they need to play really loud to sound good.
Yeah.
And it's an adjustment to play quieter. But
Right.
It's a mask.
It fits the music, though. The hardest thing is when someone's a really hard hitter and they ride the crash all night long.
What did you say, Don? You said
It's a mask.
it's a mask. It is a mask. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really, it's, you know,
That's a very
it's-
good point.
You know, a lot of people are shy about their talents, let's say, and hide it behind volume.
Yeah.
They want to have control over the narrative. You know, if you're going to experience this, and it's going to be memorable at the very minimum because of the volume. You know,
Yeah.
Or they just don't think they're good enough. You know,
Yeah.
I think also some bands just practice that loud, and they're just. I mean, if you're going to play how you practice, so
Yeah.
they're always practicing at a certain volume, and no one's turning them.
That's
down.
spot on. A lot of people practice in basements that are this big, and then they go and play a room that's even 4 times as big, and they're like, "Well, I want it to hear like it. I want it to sound like. I want it to hear. I want it to hear like it does in my basement.
Right.
I want it to sound like it does in my basement. You know.
Well, Travis, do you still play with earplugs, at least in both ears, or one?
No, I rarely ever do. It's one of those things where I'm like, oh shit, I should put some earplugs in.
Because I
But
sometimes feel like when
hardly
you have
ever do.
earplugs in a show, I think sometimes you're a little off, like loud,
Yeah.
because I think you know, and because I don't typically wear them in a show because I feel like I can't hear
At a
everything.
show
Alex, I agree.
or
I
practice.
agree.
Yeah.
Isn't
In
that-
practice, it's a good idea, and I should do it
Yeah.
more in practice. But in a show, I get anxious because I feel like I can't hear everything. And then sometimes if you wear them, I think we're a little off.
Right. Well, and see, that's the hard thing too about us, like particularly the Legion, where we're running the sound, and that's why often I'll be like, "Hey, let us know if anything's too loud, if anything's too low."
Right.
You know, and usually there's always so many musicians in the room. Somebody,
Right.
I can ask somebody like, "Hey, can you monitor this? This is Alex's mic. This is my mic.
Yeah.
This is this. This is that." You know, if it's too loud, just turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, that's the catch
That's
for
the
us.
community. That's the community
We don't do our
aspect of
own
it.
sound. Like, we just kind of set it up and hope it goes well
Right.
while we're doing everyone else's, but no one does sound for us.
Yeah, that's a hard way to do it, but it works. I guess.
Yeah.
gotta
Don't
do
you
it,
get feedback during the sound check, or
What's a sound check?
Sound check is first song.
Our,
like-
our
it's like
sound check
rice
is
checks.
essentially our-
Oh, that's a professional menu. Did I tell you it's called Garage Punk Rock Night? So yeah, sound check. No, we try to do it, but honestly,
That's the authenticity we're talking about.
There you go.
we only get the room, for so many hours, and like we're setting up right until we start, and it's usually like the first song is where I'll make, we'll have it like a decent level and then make adjustments like right away. But it's harder when we start first, although we pretty much know the levels
We know what
where
we're doing
everything
there, yeah.
works.
When we play elsewhere, though, we're thrown off. I mean, I feel like, again, how many shows did you say we've played now? You figure you counted them?
Well, so we're playing with Del Arco's next month, and John was saying that it was like their 100th show coming up.
The Delarco's 100.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. And I looked just on our Facebook, and it said like it was like our 100th show as well. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
wow.
shit, and that's pretty awesome coincidence.
And probably
yeah, I
half
guess
of
like
those are at the
100 or
Legion
so.
or
Yeah, I looked at
almost.
it, maybe half
Yeah.
Legion, half or.
So we know that room really well. I mean, we just kind of instinctively know where to put the levels just on the amps and everything. But when we go elsewhere, I realize how spoiled we are with this regular house show that we have because I get super thrown off if I can't hear you, or I can't hear myself, or can't hear you. I mean,
But I love playing anywhere else just because the labor goes down like 200%.
Yeah, they have
like we could just
backline.
walk in
I
with
mean,
our amps and
Right.
guitars. We're not setting everything up and running everything, and it's just I could just have fun.
Yeah, it's like
Lots
a
of fun.
vacation.
Oh, it's
Right,
great.
exactly.
It's great.
We got about 10 minutes. Tell us where we can find your music on the interwebs. How would someone find out information about you?
Well, they can come to the Legion every first Saturday of the month, 8 p.m. Always a free show. This
May I
is
make a
Sissel
suggestion
Saxon.
too?
Yep.
With all due respect,
Please.
maybe not house band. Let's call it a residency.
A residency.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
what I would call residency.
It's a residency.
It's a residency.
Yeah, going on
I
our
haven't slept on the floor
50th
yet.
night. Yeah,
What road is it on?
It is on Fenton, and I forget the corner, but it's right where
Right by the Greyhound station in Silver Spring.
Greyhound and 7-Eleven. So if you need to get out of town, grab a snack, and run away,
If you're,
it's
if
a
you're
good
coming
place
out
to
of
be.
DC on Georgia, it's right after you cross. It's like a couple of blocks after you cross the DC line there.
there's no better way to get out of town than a Greyhound bus, right? Like that's
Well, because it comes with a story. There's a story there. There's
Yeah,
got to be a
there's
story.
always a story.
But aside from that, we have a website, apollo66rock.com, and they usually update it.
Are you on the Bandcamp?
Yeah,
Bandcamp
If you
for
search
sure.
our name on Bandcamp, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, all that
Instagram?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's mostly up to date. On that note, I've been talking to my daughter, who's 15, about doing social media for us because
Yeah.
she's young and she knows how to do things, and and
My niece is
it's
15.
exhausting.
She has, I think, like thousands of followers. Our show has 800.
Right.
And I know part of that is because she's, obviously a teenage girl, and that's a different thing. But I'm just like, are you fucking kidding? And so she's like, look, my reel got 6,000 views. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like, it's ridiculous.
No, my son, they're doing like these TikTok videos that are getting 30,000 views. And
God help us all.
want to mention your dad's band while you're doing that stuff?
I know, I know, right? To that point, so I do pet care, and one of my dog clients, their effing dogs have like more followers than us.
Oh, without a doubt. Like,
And so I had
New York, and
yeah,
like,
and so I had an event. We were doing one of our live shows, and I was like, "Yo, can you forward this to your followers, please?" And we had people from their fucking dog account come, which great, thank God they came. But I was like, "What? Are you kidding?" Yeah,
Who even bar?
Apollo 66 almost as popular as your dog.
that's a T-shirt right there. StageCraft, your dog is an influencer, not us. Yeah,
So speaking of social media, you've got Garage Punk Rock and Roll is the handle on Instagram, and you're going to be at Sissel Saxon on July 6th,
July 6th. Yep.
8 p.m. Free show, all ages with DeLarcos.
Yep. And, whoever's still in town, come on out. Summers are always hard, Particularly when we're playing.
I heard there's a rumor that Joey Chestnut, the Nathan Hot Dog King, is going to be opening your show.
I think I heard that. Yeah, it was a special. You set this up, right, Alex?
Well, I heard he didn't he get banned from something? He got
You got to go somewhere.
by the way, for the
What kind of hot dogs? It was some kind of.
because he signed a deal with
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yes,
Burgers
yes.
or whatever.
but
Oh, you can't do that.
no, but no, okay, no. So this is
Wait, I hit a nerve.
no. This is why this is bullshit. So he would rather have a Nathan's hot dog sponsorship, but they won't give him a sponsorship because of reasons, right? And so he was like, "Well, I'll get my own sponsor," and he did. And then they were like, they cried foul because God forbid he has, that he has a sponsor that's not Nathan's hot dogs. Like we'll ever forget that it's
right.
Nathan's hot dog.
And it's a
not the-
plant-based hot dog, I believe.
Right.
Yeah,
Either way, he's still the champ.
Sacrilege.
it's still the champion.
He's still the champion.
Hey, I mean, honest to God, like and not. I mean, I know we're in the weirdest timeline ever, but when I go to CNN.com and I read about the fall of our democracy, and then this next story down is Joey Chestnut's not going to be at Nathan's this year.
That's
I'm like,
part of it. Yeah.
are you fucking like this is the most
That's the
American
absurdity of
fucking
it.
thing ever, right?
I'm
I wanna-
grateful for a couple of headlines like that.
I want to
Yes,
know what
you're
happened
right.
to the
You're
Black
absolutely
Widow.
right.
The Black Widow.
Yeah, she was always
Yeah.
the winner of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
I'm not
for
aware of her.
years.
No.
This tiny little Asian lady. She was called the Black Widow.
So when did Joey horn in on
know.
her?
I think there's a men's and women's division, isn't there? Or is it
No.
all?
No, it's
I'm not aware of. Okay, we're going to Google this. We got to find out. We
Yeah.
got to educate ourselves.
Please hold.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I've heard that for years he was the winner. Like I forget how much. What do they do? 2 minutes
I don't know.
It's
I don't
fine.
think
They're trying to
I don't
retire
know.
him. It's just
But it was
no
like-
contest.
a tremendous amount. But it's a great presentation. Wouldn't you want to watch someone just stuff hot
What's
dogs?
more
Holy! All right, breaking news.
Yeah.
Sonia Thomas, also known by her nickname the Black Widow, the leader of the 4 horsemen of the esophagus. She is a competitive eater from Alexandria, Virginia.
All right.
Hometown girl.
Local
Hey,
girl.
Sonia Thomas, come on the show, please.
What was her record?
I don't. She ate 37 hot dogs in 12 minutes in 2005. 2013, I think, was her last year.
Something you can't unsee.
37 hot dogs
Unsay.
in
She's tiny.
12 minutes.
She ate 40 hot dogs in 10 minutes one time.
See, I don't feel guilty about my 2 or 3
40
hot dogs a year.
in 10 minutes.
does that do to
That's
a body?
15 seconds a hot dog
With bun.
with bun.
Bun.
Well, they throw it
And
down
mustard.
with water. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think
Is
should.
that
They,
soaking,
I don't
or
think they
is
should
it
be allowed
just
to use
like-
water like that.
No.
Soak up
Oh,
the.
but how could you do it
bun,
without
yeah.
water?
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. That would be a real challenge. I'd be more impressed if they didn't have.
I want full condiments.
Should write them.
You know, I want you to have
Yeah.
to chew them and eat them like a human being.
Onions. And
Yeah.
A bunch of
Oh,
relish.
man.
Yeah.
What do you? I mean,
Chicago style.
You should have to eat a condiment you hate.
oh, like a little.
And
yeah.
imagine the owner of the Jiffy John just outside there who has to vacuum it up afterwards.
Oh, is this like the toilet thing? Yeah. I can't imagine what the hotel is like after the competitive eaters.
Probably smells like hot
A
dog.
lot of
And
plumbers-
there's
lot
the
of plumbers
requisite
coming through.
mention of poop on StageCraft that we always have.
Destroyed toilet.
All right.
All right.
Stand by Me scene with the pie,
Oh, yeah, lard
the
ass.
vomiting of the pie.
Yeah. Well, that was a great story. That was a great story of revenge.
Yeah, yeah.
Because remember, he took the castor oil.
Right.
And they all started throwing up.
Oh, so good.
This is a good movie.
So good.
Stand by Me. Thank goodness Stephen King went through his alcoholisms. Gave us such
I love
great
Stephen
stories.
King. I love Stephen.
Yeah.
So we're ready for that acapella now, right?
I am. Let's
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
What's your a cappella song?
Well, it's in the closing credits, I think. which I think you're about to get.
You want to pull out a guitar just to get things going with it?
You want to hear a little clank, clank?
Yeah, go ahead.
unplugged
Just
guitar?
Fucking do it. Yeah, let's do
just
it.
play-
Yeah,
just-
let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
So I started off this conversation by saying I don't know how to play guitar. And now I'm going to call it
You're
out.
forcing me to prove it.
Prove it.
All right, Jeremy, you're on.
I thought we were doing Stand By Me.
I'll hold your mic. Are we really? Let's do it.
He needs his mic.
But he's got to get.
Is this your instrument right here?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just it's an unplugged
Yeah.
electric.
Yeah, that's fine.
Will make any
All right.
decent sound.
Electrics without an amp.
Well, in the
are
spirit
always
of David
unplugged.
Bowie, we could mime something.
We could what?
We could mime something.
Mime doesn't really go across on radio. Unless you're Marcel Marceau and you release that one record he had.
We need a play-by-play guy if we're doing that.
All right. Well, now it's getting awkward. We're not going to do it.
Let's do it.
Don is the master of ceremonies. Please, would someone just let's do something.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do it.
What
Let's
are we
do it.
doing?
Carry on.
Yeah, do it.
That's the first time you've ever sung, isn't it?
Ever. Like
Ever.
everybody. This is very important. Don't stop now.
That's the only words I know.
Don't stop believing. Come on.
I don't think we've ever. We do. I mean, if there's one thing that I think we're maybe trying to do more of is harmonies.
Don, give us a C. Can you give us a
Yeah.
C? That's not C.
That is the right pitch for me.
These guys do have amazing harmonies, though. Like when they sing together, and they do it on a number of songs, and I'm always
Oh,
blown
that's
away.
very sweet. That's
Waltzing
very sweet.
Matilda.
But,
So I tend to be the yeller in the group.
Old
and-
Yeller?
the screamer, if you will. And Alex is the loves Beatles, like loves harmonies, and has really brought me along to like really try to.
What are your guys' harmonic influences? Like I kind of know Alex's, but
Alex?
like
It's my harmonic influence. I want to be like Alex.
When I send them, I mean, often what we'll do is work up little demos, I guess, on GarageBand, and I'll send out something to these guys. But what I can't help doing is just turning it into the corniest, like, multi-harmony thing. You guys are kind enough not to ridicule me too badly.
Yeah, Alex is like, can we double track that? Can we add another harmony there?
Can we make this, like,
what if I did it up here?
Bohemian Rhapsody, essentially.
It just becomes Bohemian.
Really? Yeah, sure.
Every song becomes Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right.
And then this is the opera part. There's always an opera part, Alex.
But I want to yell. Can I yell now?
But so I remember at some show we were playing with a punk rock band. And after they heard us play, they're like, "Wow, you guys actually sing!" And we're like, "Wow,
Oh, yeah, I remember
thanks,
that.
right? We're trying to make a carve out a spot for ourselves
Yeah,
and actually
yeah.
singing." Yeah.
How about that
Heavy, but, yeah.
part from No Denying we used for your
all
promo?
right. Yeah, you guys are serious. All right, yeah, let's do something.
From what?
No Denying.
Oh,
All right.
what acapella?
Yeah,
The tambourine.
Or you could at
Yeah,
least.
open up the guitar case.
All right, here we
When you
go.
brought up Stepping
I don't
Stone.
wanna
This is the
lie,
song that I
you're
think
just
of
not
as
my
our
type.
version of doing
Okay,
Stepping
Stepping
Stone
Stone.
because we have this little thing. Oh, this is going to be embarrassing though.
Well, I mean, if we do it right, it's embarrassing.
We've been recording guitar.
Negative attention is still attention. Never forget that.
There you
It's
go.
a pretty low bar. I don't think you're anywhere close to embarrassing us.
All the listeners are
we
gone
have
by
said
this point,
many,
right?
many a thing that
So many things I regret.
Yes.
So many things I regret. Yeah.
That's right.
So many times I put my foot on my mouth. So many times. And I'll tell a quick story since you're here. So the reason I always ask people, hey, did we say anything shitty about you? Is one time we had this one band on the show who I will not mention by name, and during the break of when we were on the radio, so we were in live on the radio, and during the break, I just was making conversation. I was like, hey, I feel like we've met before. Yes, we have. We met at the Songwriters Association of Washington. Oh, cool. I was like, I did some song reviews that one day. Yes, you did. Did I review your song? Yes, you did.
Oh, wow.
What did I say about your song? You said I should take singing lessons. And I said, I said, what did you think? And she said, you're not wrong. And I was like, all right. But it was still awkward as shit.
brave man.
So plans to get singing lessons. So.
Okay, helicopter's gone.
Let's wait for that.
And
Yeah.
then yeah.
The president coming in.
We could be gone all day. Why don't we do that? You've got to be warmed up by now for that.
Which are you going to do the whole
Yeah,
thing?
just do it from the beginning. I don't know if you can hear this. You might have to sit close.
I mean, I can hear the guitar.
Okay, you ready?
So we're singing that song.
Yeah. I've been singing it for like the past 5 hours.
I know, but it's not in this. All right. Okay. All right.
It's a tightrope.
It's
Wait, we
just
start
us.
with bass.
Well, you can do that a little bit, right? Mother mine just to run away. Ain't no mind to what they say. Close the door and I'm not ever gonna look back. Pack a bag, but only one.
We're moving fast and we gotta run.
There's a risk that you take when you jump off the track.
This time tomorrow we could be gone. This time tomorrow we could be gone.
Count the miles and count the days.
It doesn't matter anyway.
Take the crookeds just like I'm taking the straights. An empty mind, a broken heart.
Let myself just fall apart.
Pull the clutch, roll the throttle, and let open the gates.
This time tomorrow we could be gone. This time tomorrow we could be gone. This time tomorrow we could be gone.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good stopping point.
Somebody wants to hear my solo?
So let's stop it. We got to stop right there. I want to thank Apollo 66
Yes.
Don and Kat, I'm so sorry I sent you guys to the wrong house. Thank you for making the journey.
Thanks for the beer.
And just remind everyone, what show do you have coming up next, and where do you want people to see you?
American Legion, Sissel Saxon in Silver Spring, July 6, 8 p.m. Don't go anywhere. Hang out for the weekend. Come see us and the Del Arcos and the Exchange Project.
That's right.
That's great. That's great.
Thanks so much.
Goodbye, Washington.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.